I know last time I said it was going to be time for MGS2, and I do apologise, but I've been a little bit busy at the minute, and I just thought in the meantime, until I properly sort that out, I'll give you this instead. Just a nice little intermission fun. Besides, Ground Zeroes ain't that bad anyway, especially the Deja Vu section. It's just really, really cringe as we have two characters trying to reenact iconic scenes in MGS1.
Kept you waiting, huh?
It feels so wrong hearing Kiefer Sutherland's voice instead of David Hayter's.
Shadow Moses Island, a remote island off the coast of Alaska. Or not.
Or shut up, Kaz, because your cringe levels are reaching all peaks of high heaven.
Surveillance camera.
Yeah, that's right! A surveillance camera! You all know how I feel about those! Oh yeah, that memorable and iconic line when Meryl found keys. I mean, no offense to any of this, but it sort of seems like they're really stretching it a bit, you know what I mean? So there's a nice little start. It's a nice little clue for what you have to do for this scenario. Like, no disrespect to any of the actors, but it's just they don't have the same level of gravitas as David Hayter or... God, I forget Liquid's actor's name. I'm a terrible person. I'm sorry, I'm a terrible person. I suppose what kind of bothers me about it as well, because they're sort of acting like Big Boss and Snake are the same characters when they never have been. They're very different people. And I don't know, I just don't see the point in like trying to recreate this. Like trying to recapture the magic, and it's like, I don't know, it just seems really phony and whatever. I mean, it's a nice little bit of fun, don't get me wrong. But it's just, when you sort of compare them, it sort of lessens the quality of, I think, of Kiefer Sutherland's performance. Because Kiefer Sutherland is an excellent actor. And I think for Big Boss, he was a really good choice. But I think he would have been better at the start of Big Boss's story. Like, if he managed to play Big Boss in MGS3. And I know a lot of people would have said, well, it's Snake, you know what I mean? It's like David Hayter. No, but they're two different characters. It's fine if they don't sound the same. But it's just, you know, many of the issues there. Because this comes straight after Peace Walker, and it's David Hayter's voice, and then it goes from Kiefer Sutherland, while all the other actors have their same voices. It's like, no. Something about that doesn't really sit right with me. And it wouldn't sit right for a lot of people, because it was way too jarring. If perhaps there was that time gap, you know, say in Ground Zeroes, he sounded like David Hayter, and then you had the time skip. He sounded a bit more like Kiefer Sutherland for whatever reason. I'm sure that would have been fine. Thinking on this now, what do you think an encounter between Grey Fox and Psycho Mantis would look like? I think that would have been absolutely mint. Just seeing these two psychos just going at it non-stop. I think that would have been an interesting fight. You know, Psycho with his telekinesis and whether or not he could actually impact Grey Fox's fractured psyche. And with Psycho Mantis' telekinesis, he could just like move everything around him. You know, it gives Grey Fox something to jump around over. But saying that, I think that would sort of delve too much into the territory of gratuitous violence and over stylized nonsense that was basically twin snakes. But saying that, fuck it, I'd still do it. Wait, was I meant to do that?
That was it, boss. No way to recreate the scene now.
Well, don't worry, Kaz, because that's not why we're here, mate. We're here for a completely different mission entirely. This is our true mission. Metal Gear
The
Solid.
light on that gun. It's different. That gun's light is an unusual color. I wonder
Shut
what
up,
it's
Kaz.
used for.
You're an unusual color. Alright, Kaz, what you gotta tell me?
Metal Gear. Solid. Snake's 3D model was made up of 690 polygons. Are you an otaku too? If we make it through this, I'll tell you.
Just that organization of those two lines
Metal
together.
Gear. Solid.
Oh, I guess we've been saying it wrong this whole time. It's Metal Gear Solid.
I couldn't tell you why, but it looks like that gun's light erased the marking. You see any more of those things around there?
Right, Kaz, what do you have to say about this one? Not that one, this one. MGS4.
Metal Gear Solid 4. Guns of the Patriots.
One game I never actually finished.
Snake's model was 14,000.
Holy snaggletooth. That's a lot. You. Cringy. Fuck.
Things around there?
Quick little thing I want to touch on when I was playing MGS1 for the first time is that there's a lot removed from it than what I thought there would be, because the first game I ever started playing full on was MGS3. And, you know, when you go from, like, a game, a third installment in the series, and then you go back to, like, the earlier installments, you really start to feel the, not degradation, but it's like the improvements that have been carried on to the next game, to the next, to the next. And so eventually, I think this is sometimes what happens a lot of times, when people go back and play older games. Because you're so used to the more newer version, to go back to the earlier, sometimes first version, it not necessarily feels like a downgrade, but so much has been removed that it's a little bit difficult to get accustomed to, because there are more restrictions forced upon you. That's because of the limitations in the hardware. That's not necessarily the fault of the game. So that was a little bit hard for me, but it was a nice little fun, little bit of nostalgia. MGS3, my favourite game! No joke, I've actually played this like, what,
Snake Eater.
300? No. At least 20 times, that'd be an exaggeration.
Snake's model was 4,800 polygons.
Oh my god, so many polygons!
Let's make this the greatest 10 minutes of our lives.
Not in front of the men, Kaz. Later. I'm killing Metal Gear Solid.
Good. You
I'm a
erased the
monster.
marking. Looks like
I'm
there's
enabling
more.
the horrific
You might be able
crimes
to
of
erase the
Konami.
markings, but the memories will never disappear.
Yeah, I think it's pretty clear from, 10 years on now, this was just not a very subtle way of Kojima, well, subtle but not subtle way of Kojima telling us that he's going to be leaving the Metal Gear series. And you know what? As painful as it was at the time, I think it was kind of a good thing, because as much as the guy found his love for the series after 4, when he worked on Peace Walker, and 5, I think for him it was probably best to move on. And I think for many of us at the time, fans of the series, it was just very abrupt. You know, you don't really know the inside machinations. Parkour! And to have that is a shock. But Kojima Productions! Yes! One thing I do like about this, though, is the novel idea of basically just slowly erasing... Oh, what are you doing? No, my friend. You go down. Go back to sleep. Dreamland awaits you, my friend. You're the only resident there right now. Oh, except for that guy. He's out cold. Do I need to murk him too? Oh, I'll leave him alone. But going from that sudden shift and just this little mechanic where you have to erase mainline Metal Gear titles, ones that are worked directly on by Kojima. That's his way of saying goodbye to everyone, but I thought that was quite a unique way of going about it. You know, a sort of little reference for the fans. What can you tell me about this, Jen?
Metal Gear 2. Solid Snake.
Yes.
Snake was 16 by 32 pixels.
8 colors?
and 8
Whoa!
colors.
Snake was multiracial.
When making decisions on the battlefield, there's no single right answer. Just trust your own judgment. Over and out.
Nice.
Metal Gear 2.
Well, bye-bye. I'm gonna get around to playing that one day.
Whoa.
Because you can. In the master collection. That's not important. A little thing as well, because I remember when I was going through the game, it was for whatever reason, things just in my own personal life just kind of started to spin out of control. You know, personal relationships started crumbling. My health sort of deteriorated. I mean, if you can hear me right now, I'm still not perfectly well. Like, I'm quite sick. And so there's a lot of, like, it's kind of weird playing this, but then it's also saying goodbye to a lot of things. I suppose that's why unconsciously I picked it. It's not because I'm totally fucking lazy and didn't have anything to plan for MGS2 Part 1. No, but it's, sometimes in things, I think as much as we want to cling on to things in the past, it's important to let things go and move on with our lives. Because, I mean, that's one of the biggest things about growth. Is that you can't cling on to who you were as a person or what you liked. Films or books or things that you enjoyed, say, as a child. You know, maybe you'll be able to enjoy them as much, but you wouldn't enjoy them as the same way as you did before. What's up with this guy?
Someone's in the outhouse. Some soldier with stomach trouble? I think he's gonna be a while.
You're here too?
Better leave him
Incredible. Oh, fuck you. Talk to me.
Metal Gear!
Are you having a stroke?
Back then, Snake was just 16 by 32 pixels and only 4 colors.
4 colors. Whoa. That's my unlucky number. No joke. I hate that number. No, that's it. Alright, bye. You look familiar. I can't tell. Drop your trousers. No, I think he died from all your cringy impressions. Yeah, get back to what I was saying earlier. If you go back to what you used to enjoy when you were younger, you value them a little bit differently. And in some cases, you pick up on things that you might not have if you were younger. Because, you know, as you get older, you get more of an understanding of things. And it doesn't necessarily make you cynical. I mean, it might do, depends on the kind of person you are. But me, as I get older, I get a bit more jovial, despite any hardships I face. And that's the thing as well, like, despite everything I was sort of going through at the time when I was, putting up these videos, you know, there was technical difficulties too, and I was wondering, like, should I really be doing this? Maybe I'm just sort of, like, getting subtle signs that I'm not meant to be doing this whatsoever. Maybe I should just pack it in. But I didn't pack it in, and it's not that, you know, it's not that I boosted my channel to any massive degree, but I think what I like most is that I just managed to finish it, you know? That level of accomplishment, like, oh, wow, I actually managed to finish something for once. And just in that alone, that feels like a little achievement. It's a small step. It's one of those, you know, there are long-term goals and short-term goals, and the short-term goal I got was just to finish MGS1, the game I'd never played before, and I think it came out alright, all things considered, despite never playing it before. My friends have a nice little laugh at my expense. I don't think they're my friends, actually. Hold on. But yeah. It's just, as you get older, things change. And I wonder if my perspective of this game would have been very different if I had actually played it when I was younger. I imagine my perspective on MGS3 will be different when I play it. Or might not be. Entirely depends. But I think sometimes for a lot of people, it's difficult to sort of go back to things and view them with a new, fresh set of eyes, or the willingness to want to do so. You know, sort of slowly, steadily mature. I think most people just want to be stuck in this sort of weird, infantilized state of mind. Come here, now you're out cold. Yeah. You know, what I'm ultimately getting at is, as much as you want to cling on to things, you gotta kind of just move on. It's not necessarily because you want to, it's because it's best for you. Sometimes letting go it's so much less of a headache, honestly. You know, not that you forget, but that you sort of like let go of the weight of the past a bit, if you can. Other times it can be very difficult to do that.
Productions, LA.
Who cares about LA Productions? Whoa! Bad luck, mate. Look like it's the end for you. Right, let's pretend we didn't see that. This is Snake. What the hell are you looking at over there, mate? Snake is now British. 'Cause why not? Go to camp. Go to camp, go to camp, go to camp. What do you have to say about this, Kaz? What's that? Oh, Kaz. Don't say those things, mate. You're gonna upset a lot of people. Not me, though. I didn't really feel for it in Metal Gear Rising. Wasn't a bad game by any stretch of the imagination, but it just did not captivate me. You know? I might revisit it again one day and give it another shot. You alright, fella? How you doing? Looks like you're having a bit of a bad time. I'm here to brighten your day. I think that's everyone now. Aside from... Wait, what's going on with my intel? That's a bit bizarre. Ooh! Ooh, hello. Ooh, no, I don't like that. Ah! How do I make it stop, Kaz? Ooh.
Snake, you okay? Fox dies, but the Fox engine came out on top. Thanks, Fox engine.
Thanks, Fox Engine. That is some weird level of advertisement if ever I've seen one. Look, everyone, MGS2. We finally found it.
Sons of Liberty.
What else can you tell me, Kaz?
Was 3,800
Whoa! I don't know what that means.
Find something to believe in and find it for yourself. And when you do, pass it on to the future.
That was a terrible impression of David Hayter, mate. You should be ashamed of yourself. Also, why would they hide MGS2 behind the most awkward spot imaginable? That's unacceptable, that is. Oh, look at that blink and you miss it reference. A fox sound. That's so cool.
What's the security level of your card? Huh. You don't have one?
Right, this next title here can be a tricky one to find. So, we're gonna get our helicopter out. No! Here we are. Like I said, this next title can be... I mean, you kind of need to know it's there, otherwise you'll be running around all over the base like a maniac. But this one, I kind of like how it's hidden from us. But not at the same time. But you wouldn't think to look for it here. See, right there. Metal Gear Solid, Peace Walker. What do you gotta say, Kaz?
Metal Gear Solid.
I just said the title!
Snake's model was 3,500
Cool, what else you gotta say?
Kazuhira. It's Japanese for peace.
Well, that was nice to know. Alright. Bye-bye, Peace Walker. And here we are, the last title. We gotta say, Kazuhira.
Metal Gear Solid 5. Ground Zeroes. From 2D to 3D. Then voice. And freedom of movement. Facial expressions, too. I guess your face has a few new wrinkles, but I've never seen more emotion expressed through it. Joy and rage, too.
Yeah, real expressive here, isn't it?
Huh, Snake? Wonder what they'll think of next.
That's a reference to MGS4. When I get back to Mother Base, you're being publicly executed, Kaz.
You did it. You erased all the markings, but every one of them will always be with you. You seem to be a fan of Hideo Kojima games. Thank you for all your support.
Love it. Sorry again to anyone who was expecting part 1 of MGS2. Like I said, there's just a couple of things that I'm really busy with at the minute. So hopefully you at least found this intermission somewhat enjoyable. Or entertaining enough, hopefully. And, you know, if you liked it, subscribe. Like the video, please. I need some recognition. I need the recognition my parents never gave me. So I'm seeking validation and love from complete strangers, like you.
Just what I'd expect.
No, but in all seriousness, for anyone who started watching MGS1 and keep watching even until now, thank you all so much. Like I said, given everything, I'm just glad I managed to like finish the game on its own. And you know, I really am looking forward to carry on with the series, because MGS2 is a game that I only ever played once, so that'd be interesting to go back on. So, see what stuck all these years and what didn't stick. But MGS3, that's the one I'm looking forward to the most, because that one, like I said, I played that like 20 times. Is that one of my favourite games? Hell yeah. That's probably, for me, that's definitely up there with one of the greatest games of all time. That and The Forgotten Sea. Phenomenal game. I try to get my mate to play that all the time, and he's not taking to it. It's like, man, you need to play it, you need to play it. But yeah, hopefully next week, part 1 will be out. And it'll be as good as the delay has allowed it to be. And I don't think I'll do the series all in one go. Like, MGS 1, 2, 3, Metal Gear, and then Metal Gear Solid 2, Solid Snake. I think every once in a while, like, I'd take a little break from it. Just play a one-off game. I think that can be beneficial, because I think doing it all at once, I'd get a bit of burnout. It's like, man, I just don't want to play another Metal Gear game for a while. It's like, I need something else. You know what I mean? Because when it's like your favourite food. If you have too much, ironically, something in MGS3, if you have too much of the favourite food for too long, they begin to hate it. But, you know, if you have something you hate, then after a while you kind of like it a bit more, you get used to it. But I mean, after some of the changes that I'm going through at the minute, after I'm a bit more adjusted with them, you know, I'm sure whatever, like, fragmented fragility, like, I might be going through. It's one of those things. You know, whatever hardships you go through, just remember, whatever hardships you go through in life, and this is something I was told by someone that sort of helps me put things into perspective. The momentary discomfort you're feeling is like a ripple in a lake. It's just a small ripple, and your life is the entire lake or the river, and it's carrying on. And this ripple will be here for a little bit, but you'll just keep going with the flow. That's all you gotta do. Whenever you have hardships, go with the flow. Be like water. I don't even know if that's going to be helpful to anyone. Oh well. I tried. I tried!
Those mice are
I think
Alaskan
people understand what I'm
mice.
saying.
No, they're not.
Master, are you feeling okay?
And there we go. We end it on an S rank. Right, there you go. Have a nice day, everyone.